Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Facebook Live today. Thank you all for joining us in the audience. I see that we have a full house. I see people asking when we're starting. So we typically start on the hour. In case you're new to our Facebook Lives here at MyHeritage, thank you all for joining. We are so glad to have you with us in the audience today. I see people from all over the world and from Ohio. Let's see, we have Stephen from Sweden, people from all over, Carol from Ontario, Canada, Pamela from Washington State, Minna from Finland. So thank you all for joining us, no matter where you're located in the world. We love seeing where you're tuning in from and seeing, how far of a reach we have and how genealogy just connects us all from all the corners of the world. Oh, I see people are saying that they can't see me, that they can hear, but they can't see. So let me just try that again. Let's see if we can fix that. If you can see me, please do let me know, but let's see if we can remedy that. Let's see, are we able to see now? Please write in and let me know if you're able to see me. I see that people are saying that there is no camera, so we're going to try and sort this out. Hopefully we can, every once in a while there are some technical difficulties with these Facebook Lives that we have. So we're going to try and try something else and see if it works. How about now? Are we able to see? Let us know if you can see me now. Switch to a different camera. Still no picture. I'll wait a moment because I know there's a little bit of a delay. So let's see if this works now with a new camera here. No, still seeing a whole bunch of no's. Not sure what's going on here. Okay, we're gonna try refreshing and seeing if that works. Sorry about these technical difficulties, folks. This doesn't normally happen for those of you who normally join our Facebook Lives. Let us try one moment and let's see if we can get this working. We're gonna try refreshing here. Let's see. Okay, I'm back here. Let's see if the camera is working now. I would love to be able to see you all. Thank you. I see that Rosalind said that my voice is clear, so that's a good thing. But I really hope that we can get this video working. Not sure what's going on here. Normally works just fine. Oh, I see that we're all set here. Just took a little bit of, I'm not exactly sure what happened. We switched cameras and apparently now it's working. So I'm so glad because it looked like it was working before also. So thank you everyone for, for sticking through with us. It's worth it, I promise. We have a great session lined up for you today. So we're so sorry about those first few minutes, but hopefully it gave more people some time to join our wonderful session that we have for you today. So thank you all for sticking with us, even with that slight technical difficulty. Thank you to everyone who's writing in and letting us know that everything is working now. We really appreciate that. So for today's session, we have a great session for today. We have with us the Photo Angel Kate Kelley. Really such a fantastic guest. I am so impressed by all the work that she does, and I'm sure you all will be as well. So just so excited to jump in and talk about family photos and their importance, and we'll get to her story shortly. Before we get to that, I forward something to somebody in the audience. So we will be giving away a MyHeritage Complete plan to one lucky winner today. Really a fantastic gift for those of you who aren't aware. It's the best plan we have to offer at MyHeritage, and it gives you so many things, but among them access to 16 billion historical records. We're adding new historical records every single day to MyHeritage. In addition, it'll give you unlimited access to the MyHeritage photo tools. Perhaps we'll be talking about some of those today. So that is MyHeritage in color, the MyHeritage photo enhancer, the MyHeritage restoration feature. Really amazing, amazing features. In addition, it will give you unlimited family tree size, and just so much more, this MyHeritage Complete plan. So we're so excited to be able to give it away to somebody in the audience, to one lucky viewer. So, you know, we would like to hear from you in the audience about your most cherished family photo, whatever it is, when it's from, who's in it. You know, it could be the oldest photo that you have in your family, something that came with your family as they immigrated to America or halfway across the world. Or it could just be a more recent photo of a family reunion where you have, you know, 1,000 members of your extended family. So let us know, what is your most cherished family photo and why it is so important to you and your family. We'd love to hear that in the comments. And at the end of today's session, we'll award one lucky winner a MyHeritage Complete plan. In addition, before we start, I just want to let you all know, we love to hear the comments and questions throughout the session. So please write in, let us know, you know, if you have anything to add, any questions for Kate throughout, just jot it down there in the comments. And in addition, oh, I see Cynthia said, do we post our most cherished family photo here? Yeah, Cynthia, just write it in the comments and let us know, you know, what is that photo? Could be say, your most favorite photo is your great-great-grandfather coming on a ship, you know, a photo of him on a ship that really shows his journey across the world. You know, just write and let us know what it is, when it's from, and why it's so special to you in the comments section. So for all of those of you who may want to rewatch today's session or send it around to friends and family, today's session will be available afterwards on the MyHeritage Facebook page under the videos section. So make sure to check it out. We also have a great library of other Facebook Lives that are all available there for you to check out afterwards as well. So now let me introduce our speaker for today. So excited about this one. As I said, truly inspirational. So we have with us Kate Kelley. She is a special education teacher from Massachusetts and a lifelong genealogy buff. She and her mom were sorting through some old family photos when she came across some non-relatives mixed into the pile. Kate then logged onto some genealogy websites and located their relatives and mailed the originals to these excited family members. She now visits antique stores in search of labeled photos to reunite them with families, and she's been dubbed the Photo Angel. It's really incredible work, and you know, I'm sure these families who receive these photos must just be in awe of the work that Kate does. Let me just bring her on here to say hello to all of us. Let's get her on here, and I'll unmute her. Hello, Kate.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We're so glad to have you, and we're so excited about this session and to hear more about your story and how you got started in this and how you became the Photo Angel.
Right. Oh my goodness, it's been quite a journey. It's something that I'm very passionate about, and I have a great presentation lined up for you today. I'm very excited to share it with all of you.
Amazing. So let's see if we can get your slides up. Okay, it's not really showing. I think let's try sharing it again. I'll remove that and we'll share it from the beginning. Hopefully no more technical difficulties. One is enough for a session. But let's see if we can get them up again. If you just press that button and let's get those slides.
Okay, let's see. Did that work?
Not yet. I don't see it yet.
Okay.
Oh, and I see the comments are already coming in from our viewers about their most cherished family photos. Just so lovely to hear the answers and, why a photo becomes so special to families. So lovely.
All right, let's try this again. Okay. Share. Did that work?
Yes, perfect. So let's just bring it in here. There we go. Okay, you're all set. So I put your screen up and you can just take it away.
All right, great. Thank you all for joining me. This is very exciting. So I have a Google Slide presentation for you. What is the Photo Angel Project? So, as Esther said, it all began with a pile of labeled photos of non-relatives that were mixed in with my grandparents' old family pictures. Were they friends, classmates, war buddies, neighbors? I was determined to find out. So I started poking around genealogy websites, and bingo, I immediately began connecting with relatives of the photographed. Now I'm hooked. I love to visit antique stores to thumb through their pictures in my quest to find those that are labeled so that I may return them to their family members. One woman affectionately dubbed me the Photo Angel, which was just so sweet. So the purpose of this project is to document success stories and inspire others to search their dusty attic boxes for photos with identifiable information and join in the fun. Who inspired your love of genealogy and old photographs? Well, I have three key players that I'd like to introduce you to. The first is my paternal great-grandmother, Hazel Chapman Norton. She was a public school teacher in Bristol, Connecticut, a member of the Connecticut Society of Genealogists, and she was the one who introduced me to genealogy as a child. I've been hooked ever since. She taught me how to fill out the family pedigrees and the ancestry charts. She showed me boxes full of old family photos, which brought those names and dates to life. She instilled a sense of pride in my English and Norwegian ancestors. Her grandparents came over from Oslo. I learned about my cousin, Louisa May Alcott, who was on her husband's side, my grandfather's side, from her. And I was able to join the Daughters of the American Revolution through that Alcott line. I'm a very active member of the DAR. I also was able to join the General Society of Mayflower Descendants through William Bradford, an ancestor of my grandmother's on her father's side. Unfortunately, she passed away before she learned she was a Mayflower descendant. I know that she would have loved to have known that. But yes, that is her lineage. And we have my maternal grandfather, Walter Strong, known as Wally. He was a World War II veteran from Connecticut who served in the Pacific Theater. He had a deep sense of family pride, especially in his Civil War ancestor, Private James Strong, who died at Andersonville Prison Camp in Georgia. We heard stories about him all the time growing up. He kept his memory alive. He framed generational photos displayed on walls in his house of both his side and my grandmother's side. So when we visited, I loved to hear the stories about the people in the photographs. I just loved the photographs. It made these people come alive. And then he was big into sharing oral histories of family members with me. And I'm so thankful that I was interested at such an early age to write these down and to be able to share them for posterity. And he stressed the importance of labeling photos, which is quite prophetic, especially when I start talking about this project. And the third key player in my love of genealogy and old photographs is my maternal great aunt, Genevieve Strong. She was also a public school teacher in Bristol, Connecticut, extremely passionate about genealogy. I was really fortunate to have these people in my life before genealogy was even fashionable. They were into it. She never married, and she lived well into her 90s. She visited England and Germany in search of information on our ancestors. And I am so thankful for her because she passed down meticulously labeled family photos and heirlooms to me so that I know exactly where each piece came from. All right, so what was your first success story for the Photo Angel project? Meet Jim Frank Strong of Adamsville, Tennessee. My great aunt, Genevieve Strong, who I just mentioned to you, connected with him in the 1940s in an attempt to find a common ancestor, although their surname spellings were different. Ours was with the U, and this family had the W. This was not achieved, but a wonderful friendship ensued. I discovered several photos of this Strong family from Tennessee mixed in with my grandparents' old photos and was determined to find their relatives so I could send these photographs home. I'm happy to report that I connected with Jim Frank's relatives on a genealogy website and mailed these family treasures to them. It was a lot of fun, evoking fond memories and hearing the stories behind the photographs. And the Photo Angel project is born. Success! So what next? Off to the antique stores and the flea markets. Oh, this is so much fun. In the past, I had remembered seeing old discarded photos for sale at antique stores and flea markets, and my heart sank because being the genealogy buff that I am, I was like, oh my goodness, these are somebody's relatives. What do you mean they're for sale? So I stopped by an antique store close to my school, and I began thumbing through some of the boxes of photos. I purchased those that were labeled with first and last names, locations, birth dates. Unfortunately, there were several with no identifying information on them, and that's tough because they're really lost to history at this point. But I purchased the labeled ones, and I came home and I hopped online and I began searching for relatives using genealogy websites such as MyHeritage. And then I began chronicling my success stories in my Facebook group known as the Photo Angel, which keeps growing every day. We're up to over 6,000 members, which I'm very excited about. Can you show us an example of a labeled photo? Now, I have to tell you, this photo is the cream of the crop. This has everything that you want on it, right? So it says, meet Hugh G.W. Counts of Kansas. I purchased his adorable 1889 portrait taken in Topeka at an antique store in Providence, Rhode Island. I'm beyond excited to report that this photo has been reunited with his granddaughter in Washington State. Okay, so I need to point out some key features here. So we have the name of the portrait studio, or where the portrait was taken, in Topeka, Kansas. That's huge right there, because now when I go to search, I have a location. And then somebody took the time to type out, which is really cool. Usually you see these handwritten in the old cursive. His name, Hugh G.W. Counts, his age, 11 months and 6 days, which is great. And then the year it was taken. So this is awesome. Like this is what you want. This is what you hope for when you go to the antique stores looking for photos. Some photos might just have the place or the name or, pieces. So it's kind of a judgment call on whether you think it's worth experimenting with. I found a labeled photo and I would like to return it to a relative. Where do I begin? Well, genealogy websites such as MyHeritage reach out to the members on these sites who have uploaded family trees on the person in the photo. I would recommend shying away from general search engines to locate relatives, because I've found that some people are not interested in family photos for various reasons. So you're better off going through MyHeritage because you automatically know they're going to be interested in genealogy. And if you still have no luck, you could donate the photo to a historical society. I've done that before with my dead ends, or a museum as a last resort. The album that I'm holding here was a great find. I could tell you a little bit about that. I purchased this album at an antique store in Lakeville, Massachusetts, and it was from Washington State. And I tried to locate family members of the two gentlemen featured there, the Allen and Roberts company, but I didn't have any success. So I said, you know what, I'm going to reach out to some of the museums out in that area to see if they would be interested in this piece of history. And sure enough, they were very excited that I had found this. So what it is an album about the Columbia Lightship, which was stranded. And this company, this Allen and Roberts company, was very proud that they were able to organize a team to retrieve the ship. And in this album are all original photos that were taken of this project in the late 1800s, early 1900s. So, long story short, it is now going to be on display in a museum in Washington State for shipwrecks. And they were just thrilled to receive this wonderful piece of history. Another question I get is, do you reunite other pieces of ephemera with relatives or just photos? And the answer is, I don't just focus on photos all the time, although I primarily get photos, but sometimes I'll find baptism certificates, high school yearbooks, funeral memorial cards like the one right here, high school diplomas, letters, postcards, historical albums like the one that I had just shared with you, Christmas cards, passports. I'll tell you, antique stores are chock full of wonderful pieces of genealogy. Like these, for example, like we have the name, the birth date, the place. It's just fabulous. So yes, I will pick up other pieces, not just photos. Another common question is, how do you organize your photos? So I have broken it down to 4 categories. I have my new photos that I'm working on. I have pending photos. So those are photos where I've reached out to somebody on MyHeritage, for example, and I'm waiting to hear back. They're kind of in limbo. My challenges, which I either reached out and haven't heard back, or I'm having difficulty even making any sort of connection. I do have a pile of those, and I revisit them every now and then. And, you know, sometimes if I put it away for a little bit and I come back to it, then I'll meet with success. So that's one of my categories. And then my to be mailed category. So those are the photos the hard copies that are on their way to relatives. Where have you sent photos? So to date, I have sent photos to 36 US states, as well as the United Kingdom, Canada, Germany, and New Zealand. And my goal for 2022 is to complete my US pin map. So this is my map that I have hanging on the wall in my house, and you can see all the little pins are all the states that I've returned the photos to so far. What is your greatest challenge? My greatest challenge is that is when I reach out to potential relatives and they don't reply to me because they think I'm a spammer or a scammer. And that's heartbreaking because, you know, I could be holding on to a photo of their great-great-grandmother and they're nervous, and I understand, but it's certainly frustrating. What is the most rewarding part of the Photo Angel project? Hands down, the most rewarding part of the project is hand delivering the photos to excited family members. I send photos all over the country and internationally, but I was fortunate to hand deliver a few to local folks. The picture on the right is of a gentleman who lives in the Worcester area, and I found a picture of his dad at an antique store in Rhode Island that he had never seen before. It's his high school graduation photo from 1926, so that was really special. We got to meet up, and he brought a family photo album to show me all the pictures of his Italian family immigrants and how they started a really what's the word I'm looking for? Well-known dairy in that area that supplied milk to all the schools and all the community. So that was a lot of fun to hear all about his family and the importance of that particular photo, which could have been lost to history. Another family, this was really fun, invited me to their Thanksgiving dinner to return some family photos that I had found in an antique store in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. And they were also in Rhode Island, so it wasn't too far of a drive. And we had a great time. It was so much fun listening to their family stories, and it's just wonderful. I just love meeting new people through this project and helping people piece together their family history. Oh, it's just so awesome. And I really encourage you to do the same. I also love it when folks post pictures of themselves with the photos that I've returned in the Photo Angel Facebook group. That's a lot of fun to see. So this gentleman right here, I've received a photo from me. It was a Christmas card that was from the 1940s of him and his parents. So we found that in an antique store in Bedford, Virginia, when we were on a family vacation this summer, and sent it to him, and he was just so happy, and it actually made the local newspaper, which was cute. What are you currently working on? Oh, this is exciting. This is the Maine treasure trunk. So this extremely generous couple in Maine is renovating a historic home, and they had heard about my project, so they reached out and they said, hey, we came across 3 steamer trunks filled with old photos and all kinds of different things. We'd love to donate it to your project. And it felt like I had hit the lottery. I was so excited. So my family took a road trip up to Maine, and we enjoyed spending time with this wonderful couple. And we were going through everything, and they sent me home with boxes full of labeled photos for the project. And I was able to connect with someone, a relative in Missouri, who was thrilled, and she has the job now of scanning all the photos and distributing them to her relatives. This was another really cool story that made the local newspaper in Maine. I get this question a lot. Do you return photos to families free of charge? And yes, I do. It brings me great joy to help people piece together their family histories. The Photo Angel Project does accept donations. Generous recipients have sent me stamps, which helps so much. Mailing supplies, I've gotten envelopes, which is great. Some folks will send labeled photos that they've either had in their family who are non-relatives, or they'll go to their local antique stores and say, hey, I grabbed a couple of photos. Can I send you the hard copies? Absolutely, I welcome that. And then generous recipients have also sent monetary contributions to the project, which is great because it is all self-funded. Where can I learn more about the Photo Angel Project? These are just a few of the ways that you can learn. So you can join the Photo Angel Facebook group, or you can follow us on Instagram. There's an article in the Boston Globe that you can check out, as well as my interview on GBH News Boston with Jim Browdy that describes the project in great detail. I was also on WCVB TV Boston's program, The Chronicle, or Chronicle rather. I also did a podcast with Layer 8. The Sun Chronicle did an article. That's my hometown newspaper out of Attleboro, Massachusetts. WBZ News Radio has an article about the project. The Bridge to News, that's the one that refers to the Maine treasure trunk. Fun 107, a local radio station, interviewed me, so there's some information there online. Oxfordshire Live also picked up a story. An anonymous donor had sent me mortgage transfer papers from the late 1800s, and I was able to send them back to a really excited relative in England. So that's an international publication. And then Coast Weekend, that has the story about the Columbia Lightship album that I donated. And then I'm excited to announce that we will be having a brand new website, the Photo Angel, that's in the construction stages right now, but hopefully it'll be ready in the near future. Do you have any questions for the Photo Angel? So Esther, that concludes my presentation.
Oh, okay, there we go. Thank you so much, Kate. What an amazing project, and it was just so amazing to hear about, about these returns that you've done. It's just so incredible. I know that we have to correct a lot of our. The fact that we have all these photos from our ancestors that are not labeled, and so that's my question for you. What about all the unlabeled photos?
I know that's so heartbreaking. I'll say this: if it's a portrait that was taken and it has the studio on it, then it's worth maybe sending to the Historical Society from where that portrait was found or was taken. But yeah, I know it's tough when there's nothing on the photo. It's like, oh boy, what can you do now, right? It's lost to history. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, wow. So at least on
Yes.
some of them, you are able to find some identifying features. So we have a question here from Michael, and he asks, I'm curious how often people only want a digital copy. And
that does happen. Not too often. I have to say, most people are pretty excited with the original, the hard copy. But I mean, I'll take a picture of it and send it to them digitally if that's all they want. And then I kind of keep the hard copy in my challenges pile, because you never know if somebody else is going to join my heritage, and then I can send it to that relative. Mm-hmm.
Wow. And I see we had a question here. Where was that? From Elaine. And she said, can you talk us more about the process that you go through? So how would you find the right ancestor? So for example, on MyHeritage, how, if you had those, identifying marks,
Right.
like the example that you showed us from Kansas City, and with the name of the child, and that they were 1 year, 11 months and 6 days old. So what would you do? How would you find
you want to find you want to go onto the family trees section where people have uploaded the information, and then you can, if they have allowed this, you can reach out to them, like kind of a instant message, if you will. And then I explain, who I am, what I have, and if they would be interested. And sometimes it's yes, sometimes I don't hear anything. It's hit or miss, but I have to say, most people are generally very receptive and excited.
We find that, I guess it's a similar issue that our users have when they're contacting DNA matches, people that they match DNA with, that some people are just jump on the chance to when somebody writes them, and then
that's right,
that they don't hear from. But we like to say that a lot, I think there is a very high percentage of MyHeritage users that are very responsive. So at least that.
Yes, and sometimes I've run into, all right, there's a bunch of relatives who want the photo. Okay, so how do I decide who gets it? And I usually go by the closest relationship. So, third cousin 8 times removed versus great grandson.
And I guess the other relative could get the digital copy.
That's exactly right. That's what I do. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see. I see a few comments here, interesting comments that I wanted to read out. Linda said, I'm a follower of the Photo Angel, and I've also successfully returned photos and recently war medals found in an auction box. It's an addiction that makes so many people happy. My favorite photo is my grandmother Goldie, and she goes on to explain the photo. But Linda, that's just such amazing work, and I see that Kate, you're inspiring so many other users to do the same, which is just so special.
Thank you. Thank you. And I have to say that there are many other wonderful websites out there. But what sets my Facebook group apart is that it's reserved for the success stories. And I think that's what makes it so popular.
And will you let everyone know how they can find your Facebook page? I see some people asking here, people who are maybe MyHeritage followers, but haven't heard of your Facebook page before. So how can they find you on Facebook?
Yeah, so it's called The Photo Angel, and it's a group. Facebook.
Okay, fantastic. So make sure to join Kate's group and hear about all these amazing stories. In addition, I see Cynthia saying, I've never checked into myheritage.com yet, but I will. So definitely a great resource, especially, if you're researching your own family, or if you're researching other people's family and you're trying to find connections and trying to find hints for people, especially if you're doing international research. MyHeritage has a lot of global users around the world. So not only in the US, but also all over, as you can see from our guests in the audience here today. Let's see, we also have a comment here from Phil, who said, I was the first person Katie contacted in her pursuit to return photos to the family. Jim Frank Strawn's mother was a sister to my father's mother. Katie even had several photos of my great-grandfather that I have now. That is just so special.
Yes, that's how the Photo Angel Project was born.
Incredible. I see here Bonnie said, nice to hear another Daughters of the American Revolution member out there and doing such inspiring work like this. And she wants to know, what's the name of your chapter? And also, do they get involved as well with this, the Daughters of the American Revolution?
Great question. Yes, our chapter is Attleboro Chapter DAR. I'm currently the Vice Regent, and I have a presentation coming up for our chapter.
Oh,
for another chapter actually out in Western Massachusetts as well.
And I see Barbara asking, is this video available on MyHeritage for later viewing? So of course it is. And this Facebook Live, as well as all of our past Facebook Lives, lots of amazing content about genealogy, family history, DNA, everything related, everything in between. Yeah. And that's available on the MyHeritage Facebook page under the videos section. So make sure to check that out for this Facebook Live, as well as all of our other Facebook Lives. So now it's really my pleasure to be able to give away a MyHeritage Complete Plan to one lucky viewer in the audience. A very exciting moment. To those of you who don't know, the MyHeritage Complete Plan is the best plan we have to offer at MyHeritage. And it gives you unlimited family tree size, advanced DNA features, unlimited access to all the MyHeritage photo tools. So all the photos that Kate showed today, they could be, scanned into MyHeritage and then colorized and enhanced, and using all the MyHeritage photo tools, as well as much, much more with the MyHeritage Complete Plan. And that prize today will go to Julie Quinio. And Julie wrote to us and she said, I found a class photo of my grandmother from 1937. I scanned it with a photo scanner, and thanks to MyHeritage enhancement, I was able to make a portrait of my grandmother from when she was 9, and I showed it to the family at her funeral just a few weeks ago.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So, yeah, really beautiful, really touching, Julie, and what a nice memory and what a special photo to have and to cherish. And we will write to you through private message to claim your prize. So Kate, thank you so much for joining us today. Really, what an amazing project, and we hope that this will inspire everyone, dig up old photos that they have that might not be of their own family.
Right. Yes, thank you so much. I've enjoyed every minute.
Incredible. We really appreciate you joining us. And to everyone in the audience, thank you for spending time with us today. We hope to see you at our next Facebook Live. Of course, pay attention to the MyHeritage blog, blog.myheritage.com. And there you will see all of our upcoming Facebook Lives. We post once a month with all of our upcoming live sessions. So we hope that you will check out what's coming up. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. And we hope you all have a great day.